This is the story of two men who stared giants in the face and didn't even flinch. Two men who refused to let fear decide their future because they believed that with God, victory was already guaranteed. After escaping Egypt, the Israelites finally arrived at the border of the Promised Land. Moses, their leader, chose 12 spies to go and explore it. For 40 days, they scouted the territory. When they returned, they brought back huge clusters of grapes and other fruit, physical proof that the land was as amazing as God had promised. It was rich, fertile, and full of life. But then, the report took a dark turn. 10 of the spies painted a terrifying picture. "The people there are giants," they exclaimed. "Their cities are massive, with walls that reach the sky. We look like grasshoppers next to them. There's no way we can win against them." Instantly, fear swept through the entire camp like a wildfire. The Israelites began to weep and wail, their hope turning to despair. It would have been better to die in Egypt, they cried out. "Let's choose a new leader and go back." Their dream was right in front of them, but all they could see was the obstacle. In the midst of this chaos, one of the spies, a man named Caleb, stepped forward. He raised his voice above the noise and declared with unshakable confidence, "We should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it." But the crowd was frantic, their ears deafened by fear. Then another spy, Joshua, stood beside Caleb. He tore his clothes in distress and pleaded with the people, "The land we passed through is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, He will lead us into that land and give it to us. Do not rebel against the Lord, and don't be afraid of the people of the land, because the Lord is with us." But it was no use. The people refused to believe. They let their fear completely drown out their faith. In that moment of doubt, God spoke. He declared that none of the adults who had doubted Him would ever enter the Promised Land, but my servants Joshua and Caleb. God said, "Because they have a different spirit and have followed me wholeheartedly, I will bring them into the land they explored." And so, for 40 years, that generation wandered in the wilderness until they passed away. But Joshua and Caleb, fueled by their unwavering faith, lived to see the promise fulfilled. Years later, they stood victorious in that very same land, the land everyone else had been too afraid to enter. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. True faith doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you choose to trust God in spite of it. It's about overcoming fear with faith. When you focus on God's promises instead of the size of your problems, you can face your giants with peace instead of panic. Joshua and Caleb didn't see inconquerable enemies. They saw an inconquerable God.